Hello, boys and girls. So in our last little lesson, we were converting our standard form numbers into word form. We're going to go ahead and do the opposite right now. We're going to take our word form of numbers and convert them into standard form. So we're going to write them with our digits and our numbers like we normally would. So remember, a period is represented by a comma in standard form, and those periods are groupings of 3 digits. So let's go ahead and label the periods that we usually deal with. So we have our ones period, our thousands, our millions, and if we get really big, we have our billions, trillions, so on and so forth. We're going to go ahead and definitely stop in billions. So when we see a period written, so if we see words like million, thousand, or thousands, or ones, then we know that we're dealing with a period. So we will throw in a comma. The only exception will be our ones. At the end of our number, when we've finalized talking about our ones period, we can go ahead and throw in a decimal point. So remember, there must be 3 digits after each period. There is an exception to this, so that means there is a special case where we don't necessarily have to have 3 digits within a period, and that's when we're dealing with our biggest period. So whatever period is furthest to the left, it can have either 1, 2, or 3 digits. So that is an exception. So let's take a look at some examples. 8 million. Now that's one of my period words, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that because that's really important. So I have 8,372,625. I highlighted those because those are my period words. So I'm going to make sure that I have a comma in my number when I'm writing it in standard form. So 8 million, I'm going to start out with an 8, and there's my million, comma. 372, so I'm just going to write out the number 372, that's right here, 372. I've got my thousand period word, so I'm going to use a comma in standard form, 625. And again, we can throw a decimal at the end if we'd like to. We generally don't, if we don't have any decimal place values that we're dealing with, we generally leave the decimal off, but it always is there, we just might not show it. So let's look at another example. 1 million. Again, million is a super important word. So 1,053,007. 2 of my period words. So I know I'm going to see 2 commas when I'm writing this out in standard form. 1 million. So I'm just going to write the number 1, and that's my million, comma. 53,000. Now, if you remember, if it's not our first period, we have to have 3 digits. Now, the number 53 normally only has 2 digits, so we need to make sure that we add a 0 out in front. That's why we've got that 0 right there. We need 3 digits. So we have 53,000, and the number 7 only has 1 digit. But in our ones period, we need to make sure that we have 3 digits. So we need to actually throw in 2 zeros out in front so that we have 3 digits. So this reads as 1,053,007. So let's practice a couple together. 738. So we're going to go ahead and write this in word form. I'm going to hyphenate 38. That's one of my compound numbers. 1,390. Now remember, those commas are our periods. That's my thousands period right there. So that's 1,390. I'm going to do one more with you and leave number 4 blank for you to try on your own. The next one, this is my thousands period. It's 3 away from where my decimal would be. So this is 85,041. 85,041. And again, that 1,000 is where that comma was. 41. And again, I'm going to let you try number 4 on your own. Now let's go ahead and convert word form into standard form. So I'm going to read this out loud and then write down the number that I'm saying. 63,000, I know that's going to be a comma eventually when I start writing this in standard form, 486. So I'm going to go ahead and write the number 63,486. Next one, 5,032,099. So I know I'm going to have 2 commas for my millions period and my thousands period. So I've got 5 million, comma, 32,000. Now remember, 32 is only 2 digits. When I have a period that's not the first period, I need to make sure I have 3 digits. So I need to throw a 0 in front of the 32. 32,099. Now 99 also only has 2 digits, but remember, we need 3 digits within each period if it's not the first one showing. So I'm going to throw in a 0 in front of the 99. And I'm going to leave number 7 for you to try on your own.